was high summer. A traveler hired a donkey and set out on a journey. The owner of the donkey was following behind to drive the beast. At midday, they decided to take rest for some time, but couldn't find any shady place around. So, the traveler decided to rest in the shade of the donkey. But the owner didn't let him do so, as he himself wanted to sit in its shadow. The traveler said, "How can you refuse me the shadow? I have paid you money after all." "But you have paid for the ride, not for resting in his shadow," retorted the owner. So an argument followed between the two. When the donkey saw that the owner and the hirer were busy fighting, he took to his heels and was soon out of sight. Once a huge oak tree stood on the bank of a river. It was well nourished by the water of the river. Naturally, it was very strong and had a thick stem. Just nearby grew some reeds with thin but flexible stems. They stood almost half in water and had flourished well too. One day, strong winds blew. The tree, though huge and strong, broke from the middle and was thrown across the stream just among the reeds. On the other hand, the tree was very surprised to see that the reeds suffered no harm at all. The oak could not make out the reason of the safety of the reeds, and asked them, "How is it that, you being frail and slender, managed to face the gale without any harm? But I, strong enough, have been broken." The reeds replied, "You were proud of your strength and refused to bend. So you broke while we bowed and yielded to the gale and were spared." Once there lived a hind in a forest. She had a son who had grown very young and strong. She was very happy to see his stout body and branched strong horns, and thought, "Stags have powerful horns. Why should they be afraid of hounds, wolves, then? It's sheer cowardice. I would never like my son to do it at all." After some time, the hind's son came there. The hind wanted to teach him to be courageous. She said, "Son, you have a stout body and strong horns, so you must not run away from hounds and wolves. Don't be a coward." "Okay, Mom, I won't," said the stag. Just then the mother and the son heard the bark of the hounds. The hind got ready to run away when her son asked her to stay on. She said, "You may, but I have no horns." Saying so, she ran as fast as she could. The mother herself was a coward and was teaching courage to her son. What a satire! Long ago, the mice had a general council to consider what measures they could take to outwit their common enemy, the cat. Some said this and some said that, but at last a young mouse got up and said he had a proposal to make, which he thought would meet the case. "You will all agree," said he, "that our chief danger consists in the sly and treacherous manner in which the enemy approaches us. Now, if we could receive some signal of her approach, we could easily escape from her. I venture, therefore, to propose that a small bell be procured and attached by a ribbon round the neck of the cat. By this means we should always know when she was about, and could easily retire while she was in the neighborhood." This proposal met with general applause, until an old mouse got up and said, "That is all very well, but who is to bell the cat?" The mice looked at one another and nobody spoke. Then the old mouse said, "It is easy to propose impossible remedies." A rat was traveling along the king's highway. He was a very proud rat, considering his small size and the bad reputation all rats have. As Mr. Rat walked along, he kept mostly to the ditch. He noticed a great commotion up the road, and soon a grand procession came in view. It was the king and his retinue. The king rode on a huge elephant adorned with the most gorgeous trappings. With the king in his luxurious howdah were the royal dog and cat. A great crowd of people followed the procession. They were so taken up with admiration of the elephant that the rat was not noticed. His pride was hurt. "What fools!" he cried. "Look at me, and you will soon forget that clumsy elephant. Is it his great size that makes your eyes pop out? Or is it his wrinkled hide? Why, I have eyes and ears and as many legs as he. I am of just as much importance, and—" But just then the royal cat spied him, and the next instant the rat knew he was not quite so important as an elephant. A resemblance to the great in some things does not make us great.